Now, before I start, let you guys tell you guys a story. Now, back, I used to visit a friend's house. He was like this 20 guy who has recently learned the word sustainability. One day, I decided to go to his house for some work. There, it was during summer, so like the heat was literally irritating me. So I was asking my friend, "Hey, could you please put on some curtains for me?" And my friend's like, "Oh, the curtains have been already put on." I looked there, but I only see some plants nearby. And I was like, "What do you mean you put some curtains on? All I see is just plants." And my friend is like, "Oh, you see, those plants are like a shade, which are like give some coolingness when like the heat gets too hot." Bro, where did he learn such weird practices from? And like he told me that he just basically learns something from some other culture because he wants to be sustainable. And since like I used to learn culture, that's when I realized, oh, he has been just using this and that for like the sake of trend. So yeah, to clarify some things, now let me talk like what sustainability is, as to like clarify some things. Like sustainability is such that you can grow, improve, and live comfortably while ensuring that you do not compromise the state of nature which you are currently in that. And back in the day, some of the cultures are having like these old practices which we are thinking like, oh, it's too old. I don't think like it's gonna applicable here anymore. But like when you observe closer, that's when you realize that these practices are actually sustainable in nature. So like let me talk to you about some cultures which I have observed from. Mostly like five for now. So first, let us start with the country we are here right now, India. So in here, we have like the practice of like using pots. We have like use like make dams and stuff. Even though like it depends on like how you make it, that is sustainable. We like used to like feed the birds outside, which is like unfortunately we are not doing it anymore. Which I think is like the reason why some of the birds went extinct all of a sudden. And like we have some belief system which is like states that we must you reuse like what we have used before. Okay, we should not waste more time. So which is like technically just reduce, reuse, recycle in a nutshell. Those three words we are just learning right now, but they have learned like way years ago. Now I want you guys to like take a share. Remember Columbus. You guys all know who's Christopher Columbus is, right? Yeah. So like he went to some random island and thought that they were Indians. That is India for some reason. So I am going to like talk about the inhabitants of the island who were accidentally mistaken for Indians, the Native Americans. Like there were a bunch of tribes which were like existing in that country, but yet all of them have a common culture. Like if you see, they have contributed to the system we know now refer to as the three sister systems, which is like just take three crops, then like one would and all of them will live in a like symbolic relationship. So in their case, it's like corn, squash, and beans. Like the beans would give nitrogen according to the principles of nitrogen fixation. The squash is like the ground protection of the soil, and the maize is like a sturdy protection against the wind and factors, while also taking the nutrients that these two benefit from. So like they also use like waste minimum as like most in cultures. In their case, like whatever they have hunted or used, they use like most of the parts of it. They won't like waste like even tiny bit. Like how we like if we are eating something, we'll just like if there's curry leaf, we are like no, we are not eating that thing. No, they're not like that. They will like if they're using something, let's say like an animal. they will like use every part of it, including the skins, the bones and stuffs. Then like if we had to like wonder why their concept is like, it's like the principle like whatever we do now will like affect the generations after us. Which is something I feel like we're just forgetting very often. Like we do something but we realize like, oh no, we should have done this later. Now what happened right now? And like no. We all remember the Pearl Harbor wars, right? The war between the US and the Japans. Now we are not here to talk about the war. Okay, guys. We are here to talk about Japan's culture now. So, like, if you see the Japanese guys are like, they have like some practices now and some practices before also. Like, if we see in a way, their principle lies on their aversion to waste or motaina. Sorry for like massacring the thing or whatever. So the principle states that there should be a limit to like what you consume and what you like produce the waste of, which I think like is a very big problem. As you like see, capitalism is like nowadays producing the consumerism principle, which is like just have it, have it, have it. Even if you cannot take it anymore, just keep on having it. But like I feel like there should be a limit at some point where we should like stop. You cannot just keep going on forever, or else like something bad will happen. They like share food with others, like how we also do like whenever there's a festival. We also share food. Like most of the people share food because as a way to like save the food around them. Like remember the plants around the window I talked about earlier? That is called the green curtain, which is like introduced there around like the year of 2007, which is like just the plants keeping on the window, that thing. So like now I want you to like imagine you are on a ship, a very old ship though. Now I will tell you guys that you are in the Mediterranean Sea. So the land we are going to see next is Greece. It's just like known for like olive trees and like the beer, the tourism we have seen earlier. I think even some of them will like know to their belief systems to the books of Percy Jackson, which is just released today. Okay, so in Greeks they have like recently introduced this thing, which is like eco-tourism, which according is like in a nutshell is just a simple thing. You can go explore their beaches and stuff and any monuments you wish, as long as like you do not cause like any trouble to the environment. Like such as we can see like the gardens, the beautiful architecture, the beaches and stuffs. And like they have this one cuisine. Like you can have whatever is just available like in their cuisine. Suppose there's like only tomatoes and cheeses and stuff. Just eat whatever is like you have. Like it's just tomato and cheese, just go like make something out of it. And they also have like water management, which I see is like a common recurring theme amongst every cultures. And also they obviously have like the resource of agricultures, like as we see, olive trees like in Greece are like a representative of a goddess Athena kind of thing. So they will like plant olive trees and stuff in the name of like their beliefs and whatever. So next we are going to the country which is near us, and also it's also famous as equally as Japan in their case of technology, China. Now, if we see in case of China, they are like these one guys who are like known to do things earlier. Like they also create the compass and stuffs. Like they have this practice called Feng Shui, which in a nutshell is just like without looking at the maps, they have like check the wind, water currents and stuffs while making sure it won't harm they will build like structures and things. It's like technically just like looking at your topo sheets and then deciding where to building these things and stuff. That's Feng Shui in a nutshell. They have like these courtyards, which are like gardens, which is where we actually kind of learn like how to like make your grow plants for the sake of the ornamental purposes, like how we grow banyan trees, cherry blossoms, and all those big trees just for the sake of ornamental purpose, nothing more than this. And then like we have like the tea culture, which is like they have like bunch of beliefs in the case of how they drink the tea, why they drink it, and like how we are supposed to extract their plants and stuff. Which is just technically like they'll make their own tea in a sustainable way. Like I could wish I could tell more of this and that stuff, but like if I go telling on more and more, then the speech will like take more and more time. So like let me tell the common stuffs which are there so far for now. Like for the common things, we know that they have like water management and all stuffs. They have belief towards like how they maintain a sustainable lifestyle. All of them try to like do the agriculture in their own way without like hurting the environment. And lastly, all of them had bunch of technologies, a bunch of knowledge, and a bunch of scientific stuff. But they are trying to do this in their own way without like hurting things and stuff. But like it's all sustainable, no matter how we see it. So here's the thing I want to tell you guys before I go. Do not ever think that sustainability is just a trending word and it's just a trend now, so we'll just do whatever for the sake of trend. Which is just like, in this case, it's just, you are just doing the sake for the trend and for consumerism, which itself is like a contradiction to what sustainability actually means. If you guys want to know any sustainable practices from the past, I just want you guys to like do to the kind intent and with the enthusiasm that you wish. Thank you.